Good people, what's up? What's good? You guys are listening to your favorite podcast, Connecting the Dots.
What's up? What's
to
up?
my left, Miss Kim is back. Thank you so much for being back. Last week we tried to hold it down with our man Eric
You
Fresh.
did. You guys did a good.
We tried.
You guys
Thank you.
had a good interview.
Thank you, but we missed Miss Kim. Kim throughout the week. There's been some crazy stuff going on.
Man, I was at home. This is really my first. Well, I went to work, but you know, this is my first. This is like the furthest I've driven.
Yeah.
The most I've done.
Back to getting
I
in the flow.
can see you. Like.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah.
I see a lot more now.
Kim had surgery.
Yeah.
You made it through. You thugged it out.
I thugged it out. Surgery is rough, man.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's just something simple like what I did, but still, it's just like them all putting you to sleep and like all these strangers around you, and you're just like, oh my God.
Tell you to count down, started from 10, you fall asleep.
And then when you get home, you're just like, kind of like, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
Well, I live by myself, so you know. But anyway, maybe not. By myself. But anyway, I was home alone a lot.
What you trying to say,
I had to switch that up real quick. But a lot of the time I was at home watching TV being like, immobile. I was watching hurricane coverage. That was rough, man. That's the strongest hurricane that they've ever been able to record.
Yep.
It got past the category 5.
Yep.
And just a reminder, it's still hurricane season, people. So be prepared. Pay attention. Heads up.
Yep.
Because a lot of things that you might need to do, you might only be able to have 24 to 48 hours to make really, really, really important decisions about what you need, what you want to save, what you need to put in a waterproof box, what you want to put in a safe, what you want to take to the safe deposit box. If you want to get a safe deposit box, there's a lot of decisions that you will have to make in a small amount of time.
Right.
The people in North Carolina suffered a lot of damage. People in the Bahamas was Abaco Island and Grand Bahama Island were completely decimated. It's sad, man.
Yeah, it is.
I cried yesterday watching the coverage. But I mean, I knew it was going to be. I mean, it was a category 4, and I was like, yo, this island is about to be completely decimated. And at that point, when I was watching TV, they were saying that out of like the tens of thousands of people that live on those islands, only a few hundred, like less than 1,000 people took the evacuation and went to Nassau, whatever. So now they all have to go.
Yeah, that's tough.
But the thing for me is, and maybe correct me if you think I'm wrong for looking at it like this, I was surprised at how many people actually survived.
Facts. Yeah.
It wasn't even the death toll, because, right now they say 40. That's impossible.
Yeah.
It's going to be numbers that we probably won't even be able to count.
Yeah.
And it's going to be people that are just going to be, like, missing because they got swept out into the ocean.
I was just thinking about that, too. You can't even count those people that's in that group.
But the amount of people that lived was phenomenal to me.
Yeah. Resilient.
We are so resilient. So you were in the Bahamas, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, which is crazy.
What
I was
island
there
were
in
you
July.
on?
We were at Paradise Island.
Which is, is that one of the 70 islands? Just the island is Paradise Island?
Yeah.
I thought Paradise Island was a resort, but
it is. I think it's part of Nassau.
Yeah, because
or something like that.
Oh, okay. So you were where you went is okay.
Right.
So Nassau is fine, I would assume.
Yeah.
Or not as bad as Abaco but I just, man, that was horrible.
Yeah, it's sad. And then too, Kim, I'm afraid of donations as well. Like when we see things about the Red Cross, and I remember just talking about that on Thursday.
Yeah, there's people you could find. I mean, find a legit source. I mean, a lot of the people are being brought to southern Florida. I don't know how long they gonna let y'all stay there though,
because with Trump. Yeah. Start calling them immigrants, things like that. So.
Right. Another thing that in Abaco Island, I think, or Grand Bahama Island, one of those two, there's a small Haitian population that live like in a shanty town. And that town is completely wiped off. And those people, like, I don't know what they're going to do. It's sad. But black people are so resilient.
Yeah, they still standing after that.
So if people don't understand the demographics of the Bahamas, what you were telling us on the episode when you came back was that it's black.
Oh, yeah.
There's like they don't respect white privilege in the Bahamas.
Nah, you remember that video I sent you when the guy, he threw the white family overboard and they kept talking to him crazy, so he just threw him off the boat. And he told them, like, y'all are not in America. He said, y'all are in the Bahamas. And they have a black government, all that. So, I mean, I respect that because we don't, not we as a whole, but there's some of us who don't have, like, that same fire sometimes. Yeah. And we allow people to treat us any type of way. But over there, you could just feel it. Like, they didn't play that type of game at all. If you disrespected them, they'll take care of it. You know what I mean? So, but I'd probably say my biggest fear is right now is what happens after this. Because I've been hearing people saying, what's going to
happen after this?
Some people, they've been saying like
Trump
gentrification.
Tower on Abaco Island.
That's exactly what people were saying, Ken.
Gentrification. Where are those people going to go?
Exactly.
Because now, it's not like it's not a matter of them rebuilding like you see on a lot of different occasions with these other kind of storms. They don't have anything to rebuild. They have to really like just start over.
That's the point. And when you have corporations coming in or you have people like the Red Cross, we don't know what these people's intentions are. And somebody said this on another podcast, and I didn't even think about it, when they brought up Hillary Clinton and Bill during Haiti. And you remember during like the earthquake, they were supposed to raise all that money, all that stuff, and Haiti's still in the same condition. It still looks exactly the same. So how are we supposed to fix this? Yeah. And think about it. It's the Bahamas. So this is paradise for so many people. They can turn this into even bigger of a type of cash cow. So if they gentrify this, which it's sad, but for them, like, this only sounds right.
It's not even like...
It only sounds right.
Like, we can't even just sit back and be like, why do we do that? Like, you already know.
Yeah. History, it always repeats itself. That's real.
That's where black people need to jump in then.
Facts.
Because again, gentrification is not white people are not the only people that can gentrify. So that means black people need to put the money together.
We need to buy,
the people that run that land, they got money. Like I know Lil Duval, he was talking about, he got property in the Bahamas.
Oh, okay.
I think his house was
He's been posting that a lot.
Yeah, one of his properties was affected by the hurricane. So he was saying like once he get done with his tour or whatever, once he get done with work, he was gonna take a jet and basically take a lot of stuff back. But our people need to step up.
Yeah.
We keep crying about gentrification. Like gentrification is not race specific.
Yeah.
Right.
It's whoever got the money.
Right.
It's a process too. Like people talk like gentrification happens in 2 minutes. It's a process that happens over years. So we already see it happening. So that gives us time to actually counter it. Like right now, we see the buildings, all the stuff that's going on right now. So we're able to see this happen in real time. So, I mean, like what you just said, we have to do something about it. And I think that we have to understand that it's just not a local thing. Like,
well, when it gets to be this level, like you said, it's global. And when it gets to be on that global level, you have to get past the government before you do anything, or you have to be licensed by the government to be able to build on these properties. And these properties, these people have had, I'm sure, for generations, and whatever the property value of it, was then, it's probably going to be priced out. I just, whenever there's some more stuff about, legitimate sources for raising money, we will have to definitely, pitch in and help.
Naja, what she's doing is huge.
Yeah, she had something yesterday. They had hip hop. My vote is hip hop.
Yeah,
they threw an event yesterday.
That's dope.
I wanted to go, but I was like, I'm not supposed to be picking up stuff and doing all that stuff.
Yeah, take your time, Karen. Take care of you first.
So, but yeah, they had a good thing going, and I think that there's a lot of them, like I said, in Florida. So if you like, I think in Palm Beach, Miami area, they have cruise ships that are going over there bringing stuff. But I'm just like, okay,
cruise ships, we gotta wait.
The cruise ships need to let them live on there.
Right.
Like, when people say we're bringing them stuff, but where are they going to put it?
Yeah.
I mean, these people need you to help them, from they were just born. Like, you need, and I get it, you need food and water to get them there. That's not what I'm saying. Don't send that. I'm just saying, like,
have some logic behind it.
You have to think beyond,
And I think that that's where we mess up and people mess up sometimes. We get so caught up in the emotion in the moment of trying to help that we don't think about logistics of how is this actually going to work. Like when it came down to Flint, we're just sending bottles, but who do we know that we're sending these water bottles to? Or when it comes to the Bahamas.
We could definitely adopt a family or something like that.
Yeah.
Remember when people used to do stuff like that?
Adopt a family, pen pals. Like, we got to be effective and know exactly where our resources are going to, because we've seen this with the Red Cross in New Orleans. It's some of the same areas that's still affected by Katrina since 04, 05, and they haven't fixed those areas. Flint, Michigan, Red Cross in Haiti and Houston. And people, and I already know you, Kim, because that was close to home.
I mean, Houston is fine.
Yeah,
they were really wiped out in certain areas, and the people that they were given a lot of help.
Yeah,
fast.
It was a lot of attention.
But the thing that people don't understand, the Bahamas is on an island. It's not like you're
it's
gonna
separated.
just drive down there with stuff.
And that's the point.
Like you could drive to
How
Houston,
do we know?
Right.
You feel me?
How do you?
Right.
You have to cross the ocean to get these people.
That's why I'm just saying we have to keep a close eye on this to make sure that people aren't being taken
everybody that has
advantage
a yacht, all the wealthy people that have boats and stuff.
Because they'll be fine because they don't really live there. That's their little spot to go chill at. But these people who actually live in the Bahamas, they didn't have anything to even start off with. And they made money off of tourism. So now that's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's
what
I'm
bit.
saying. They need those
Puerto
boats
Rico,
to
it was like that. You remember that?
Puerto Rico.
A few years ago. So
and that's the United States.
But, you know, Trump and them, they don't view that as a real province. But I'm just very, very skeptical because the Red Cross has so much money. I'm just confused on why they even need donations, period, now. But
I don't know why a lot of people need donations, but here we are.
Right.
We have to have a face behind things.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch the Hurricane, J Black?
What, like just keep track of it?
I mean, you saw some of the pictures of the devastation that went on over there.
If it wasn't on CTD_ATL,
let them know.
Oh my God.
Let them know.
Yes.
No free promo.
Right. I don't know if I posted that. I was in and out of consciousness, to be honest with you.
Still posting though.
I was trying, y'all. One eye open, like.
Still posting.
Trying to read text messages. I'm like, yo, people are sending me text messages. That was crazy.
I feel you.
So what else was going on?
I wanted to ask y'all this because I know y'all probably saw it. Malik Yoba, y'all heard what he said?
No, I didn't, because I saw it. I saw the headlines and I kept going. I wasn't interested. I wasn't interested. To me, I was like, because just like Jay Black said, people read the headline
and stop reading.
And they stop reading. Like I understood he said something about I love all women, like even the tranny women, and I'm just like, okay, that's, I mean, what's wrong with that? That's okay. And then after that, he said something. He doubled down. Like I'm like, look, I'm not interested.
This is a wild boy.
Who in the history of history was even thinking about him before this? So why do y'all care what he was doing?
New York Undercover.
He's on another show, isn't he? Right now?
Why Did I Get Married? He was on that whole
series. Know, but I mean, like,
Last
wasn't
OG.
he on? Isn't he on something now?
Last OG with Tracy Morgan.
Okay.
But that was gonna connect to the whole Kevin Hart thing that we were talking about.
I was about to say that, like, who cares? Like, But I was gonna send y'all a clip, and it really made me kind of like, I guess, backtrack that statement of Kevin Hart not being wrong. It was a guy, I think Charlamagne actually put it up. He was a guy on the Breakfast Club.
Pete Buttigieg.
And he was basically saying, like, that's just like saying all lives matter or something like that.
I was going to ask you about that.
So I kind of felt where he was coming from.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't know.
It's tough.
I felt where he was coming from.
But
it's not like all lives matter.
No. It's not like all lives matter.
No, but he's saying like Kevin Hart when he said, so what?
How people feel in that situation, how blacks feel about that.
Right.
That's how gays feel. You feel me?
Right. And see, what I was going to ask y'all is, do you think that we become too sensitive though? Because now
because people call us all sorts of shit and they have for generations.
We cry about
it. Like,
and we cry about it.
Don't cry.
We do though.
Yeah.
Like as black people, we cry about a lot of shit. Mm-hmm. And you feel me? And that's why I say I felt where the guy was coming from about the gays, like, because I feel like the gays cry about a lot of shit, but I mean, everybody cry about shit at the end of the day. Like we all.
So me crying, I mean, I ain't even gonna try to defend who should cry and who shouldn't, but.
So are the two struggles the same?
No.
Let's break that down. Because some people.
No.
Kim, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No.
You already know how I feel.
I don't care. Not
you. Yeah. I already know.
I'm just saying.
Because Kim, devil's advocate, some people they can say like a Pete Buttigieg or whoever. Because some guy wrote this article on The Root or something, and he was just saying that. Tariq Nasheed, he been going in all week because like this is really pissed him off.
I really like him.
Yeah,
and I'm
if he ever comes to Atlanta, like we really got to reach out.
He doesn't live here. Then he's been on one of the shows all the time.
Yeah, he went to Brandon and Maurice's show. They went radio. Yeah, he was on twice, I think.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just keep seeing those same clips then. Cause I'm like, it just seemed like he was like on the show.
Because I think he came back again last year.
He lives in Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
Where does he live?
LA. Oh, damn. Yep. But
far.
Yeah, he is. But you know, he'll be back over here. But I remember
I like him. And
he's dope.
I've been peeping. Yeah, you know.
He's dope.
I even remember when I unfollowed Jamel Hill, I had to refollow her.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's good.
I mean, because
Why you unfollow her?
I don't remember. I think it was just like becoming too much.
She made you mad?
She didn't make me mad. It wasn't anything like, I remember talking to y'all about this one time. Like, I'm just like, she's weird. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I can't pick up what it is, but it's just like,
You just had
and
to
I was
follow.
like, you know what? Maybe it's because she always has the same braids.
She does have the same little braids.
But I don't know what it was. It was something petty. So I
Black
was like, this
women.
girl is always
Why y'all be
talking
hating
the
on each
truth.
other?
I wasn't hating. I just got sick of seeing it. And because I can control what's on my timeline, I chose not to see that anymore.
That's true. You
It
do
wasn't
have that
no
right.
hard feelings.
Yeah, you do have that right.
I love her.
But I'm gonna
I
have
think
to let you
everything
go.
she says is right. And I said
Yeah.
that before when I told y'all that. I remember saying
Yeah.
like everything. I agree with a lot of the stuff she says.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe her promo. You know, I could 100% wholeheartedly be behind you, your movement, your music, your
Right.
whatever, and not want to see your kids and you and what you ate.
All the
like,
other stuff.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a balance. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need to download an app just because I want to buy a fucking lipstick.
That's true.
Like, I
That's
don't
true.
need to have an email from y'all
Unnecessary things. I feel you.
But anyway, going back to what you were saying, I don't think it's the same.
I'm about to play the clip real quick.
Of,
Oh, yeah.
Of who?
Kevin Hart.
The guy.
Oh, Pete.
Oh, that was on Breakfast Club.
Pete Buttigieg is
I told
running
you,
for
he got my
president.
vote right
He's-
now.
Hold on.
He's running for president.
I was on The Shop on HBO. And
We official,
Lil Nas
bro. We
X was
playing
on there. You
clips.
familiar with Lil Nas X? And Kevin Hart was on there. And Kev is getting some backlash. He's being called homophobic because people think he was being dismissive of Lil Nas X.
And with all that early success, you felt it was important to make an announcement recently.
He said it was gay, so what?
Why do you feel it was necessary to come out and say that?
It's not that like it's like being forced. It's just like knowing like growing up. I'm growing up to hate this shit.
Hate what?
Homosexuality. So it's like if for me, the cool dude with the song on top of everything to say this, any other time, like I'm doing this for attention in my eyes. But if you're doing this like while you're at the top, you know it's like for real.
And people think he was being dismissive of Lil Nas X by saying he said he was gay.
Yeah.
So what? Like, my question is, if I say I don't care who a man is sleeping with, why is that a problem?
I think it was the fact that he found it necessary to interrupt Lil Nas X.
Listen,
Hold on,
Pete
hold on. We
Buttigieg.
still got some.
Pete Buttigieg.
My iPhone tripping.
Nah, you
My
good?
touchscreen ain't working.
We don't need them droids. I know Kim was ready.
Let everybody know that he doesn't care. Like,
Got you.
like it's almost like I don't want to say that I know how this sounds to
wish I
other
had
people,
one of those
but I will
fans.
say that I think a lot of gay people hear that and hear something that might not be that different than what some folks hear when they hear somebody say, "I don't see color." Like, no, this is a thing. Like, as much as we might want to believe that our marriages are going to be treated the exact same, we just move through society like everybody else and we're just living our lives. Like, no, this is actually a thing. Kids are putting bullets through their heads over this, right? And what's so impressive about what Lil Nas X is doing, I think he actually downplayed it a little bit because he talked about doing this from a position of strength. And that was impressive. He's, this moment when he's blowing up, he decides to do this. But what he was downplaying is that there's a lot to lose, right, by doing that. At this
But yeah, he went on and talked about it. But I don't know. I felt where he was coming from
I did too in the moment.
because people are killing themselves over stuff like this.
All the time.
It is an emotional topic, and I wouldn't say that the struggle's the same, but everybody had different, different.
It's still a struggle. Yeah,
I could.
that's real.
So, what is the struggle for you? Is the struggle for you being able to have and live your existence
I think it's
and
more.
not be?
I think it's more. I think the gay struggle has more to like towards the bullying side. Like they're getting bullied on the regular.
Or stares, not being accepted sometimes.
Yeah.
Small things like that, which, accumulates over time, and then that creates insecurities, all that stuff. I mean, I feel that. It's just, my only concern is not with that, because I feel that 110%. I just feel like sometimes some people,
What makes
it's
a
become
regular
too sensitive.
person and a gay person different?
Nothing. And I think
Nothing.
it's
The person you
again,
sleep
it
with
goes
at
back,
night when
it
there's
goes-
no one
but
there
no,
but
listen,
y'all.
it goes back to the narratives that are pushed. If we didn't pay it, like if the world didn't pay this much attention to this, and they didn't make it a story or make it a thing,
It's
it wouldn't
not,
be a
and that's
thing.
why
That's
Kevin
real.
Hart said what he said.
I feel, and that's
Kevin
why I felt
Hart
where
is
Kevin Hart was
just
coming
only
from.
thing. Kevin Hart said, "So what?" And that's basically just a quick way, a nutshell way of saying what you're saying. Like, great. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? I don't care. No one cares. That's great. What did that do for you? You were already at the top. It didn't propel you. It was very noble of you to not use that as a catapult for your career. You were genuinely just coming out so you could be a I don't know what, because we have everything. Yeah. We have everything. And I've never seen a bunch of people that have so much pride and parade pride every month be so easily offended all the time. I've never seen that before. If there's so much pride, do you know what pride looks like? Pride looks like strength, confidence, security. Pride looks like, I don't give a fuck what you think.
Exactly.
This is who I am.
Now, Kim,
there's no need for you to continuously you know, blah blah blah. Like, great. No one has I don't have a hard time with it, and the people that have a hard time with it don't fuck with you.
Yeah.
And that's great, because you shouldn't want to fuck with them. And the world will just be a happy place. Let people do what they want to do and mind your business.
Facts.
And that's all Kevin Hart was saying. Kevin Hart was saying, boo, boo, you ain't the first gay person. It's 2019. We've had, you're trying to convince people that will never be convinced. And that's the thing about us, too. Like, you know, some people are racist.
We just gotta accept
how
that.
they are.
Yeah, we can't change somebody's mind.
You don't have to like me. You don't have to love me, but you will respect me.
It's that
you don't
simple.
have to be all out here doing like we're fucking, you know, elementary school,
right.
and you know, like, or
right.
you know, talk about gay or whatever
right.
your thing is. Leave them alone.
Right. Right.
Just go about your business.
Facts.
Live your life and move on. This is the world now.
And two, what I think is extremely unfair, and this is what I mean about sensitivities not being consistent, is the fact that people aren't focusing on the full interview. I watched that full episode on Monday or Tuesday.
Him.
Yeah, but no, I love the shot. It's a great concept.
Oh, I know.
It's a
I
great
thought you
show.
meant the Pete Buttigieg interview.
Oh, nah. Well, yeah, I saw that too. But Kev, after that, was telling Lil Nas X, well, what's next? So you have to stop wanting to be accepted, and you have to tell people this is who I am, but this isn't everything about me. He was just saying you being gay is like something small, but you have a whole career. You should have a whole vision, a whole plan. People didn't play that part. And then two, Kevin Hart is...
Why does he have to have anything but sex with who he wants to have sex with?
Right.
He don't have to do nothing. Just because he made that announcement don't mean he's the leader of...
Facts. And then two, what kind of threw me off somewhat is the fact of Kev, he's in the hospital right now.
Yeah.
So let that man be. But that shows that there are some people who just go at it just to cancel people.
There is no sensitivity in anything.
It's a very strong cancel culture, and I get it.
The faster you rise, the harder you rise. The faster people want to take you down.
And the same thing happened with Dave Chappelle. Rotten Tomatoes initially had Dave Chappelle's show a 0 out of 100%. How is it possible? Rotten Tomatoes rated Dave Chappelle's stand-up a 0 out of 100% because they said it was culturally insensitive because of his gay jokes, all that stuff.
You know, I was thinking about this on my way down here today. People that were
he had jokes about women.
People that were brought up in the crack era, and people that like the generation after us. Mm-hmm. It's like we don't need. Y'all don't understand, and now I'm offended. Mm-hmm. Now I'm triggered.
A 0?
I'm triggered because it's
like
we have
in comedy.
We're not built the same. Period. Like we talk different. Our attitude is different. We grew up watching Archie Bunker.
Well, that goes to my point.
If you
I think
ever
I talked
see
about
Archie Bunker, that show would never.
But that go to my point. I don't know if I said it on the show, but I know I said it on the phone. Like, they trying to move the world, like the United States anyway, to be like Canada, like real. Everybody is all nice and accepting.
But that's not America. Like when we
that's
see
not the world.
When we
like,
see
that's just not life.
That's not America. Like when we see all the mass shootings going on, we see the white supremacist organizations.
But I mean,
like that's not America.
What you're trying
America's
to do.
Wild.
Right, like capitalism and colonialism. There's nothing friendly and pretty and puffy about that.
Right.
There's nothing that's gonna make you.
It's all this big illusion. That's all what it is.
No.
That's all what it is. And I just think that people have to understand that you still have to have balance. One of my mentors, Dr. Jacob English, he's gay. I'm at Georgia State, and he's like one of the most pro-black people that you'll ever meet. Everything. And he was just saying, even within the LGBTQ community, there's still racism, and people don't even talk about that.
Right, like within the gay community.
And he was just saying
Dave
how
Chappelle was saying, like,
and like he was telling me
the
how
L's
that
are
you still got
and that was perfect to me.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle said that everybody's in the same vehicle and everybody has like their own seat. That was the perfect analogy. And two, my mentor, he was telling me as well, is that, he has to be cognizant when it comes to racist white men. Just because somebody's gay, they're quicker to identify with their whiteness before being gay when it's convenient. And that's what people have to understand. So when we see sometimes with people trying to bash black people or, black comics or just black influencers when they're talking about gay things, the same energy that they need when it comes to white people making mistakes, and they need for us to understand that it's a process for them, why can't they use that same thing when it comes to people as well? Like sometimes when it comes to this, and just like what you said, Kim, Dave Chappelle, first of all, he had nothing wrong with what he said, but Kevin Hart, he grew up in the same era as you. So he probably has to unlearn the same habits that he gained over time. So I'm just saying that the same patience
does he really have to?
No, but I'm just saying, playing that same mindset. If you're gonna be
talking,
right. So the same patience that white people get, or when they get mad when people bring up white privilege or they feel uncomfortable, that they have to give that same patience towards everybody else when it comes to that. That's my only critique when it comes to the LGBTQ community.
I don't have anything. I think that they're great and they should just live their lives and be as
Kim
proud.
Not trying to get canceled.
Be as proud as you are every time there's a parade.
Yeah.
Live like that every day.
Unapologetic.
But
we are in Atlanta, and I see that 24/7, so I respect it.
And I feel like, why I think lesbians are more accepted?
Because men accept them.
No, because the lesbians are not complaining. It's always gay men that's complaining. It's never the lesbians.
Because men run the entertainment industry.
But I'm just saying, you don't never hear the lesbians complaining about this shit.
Because you never hear men complain about them. Men love that.
Because they don't complain. They accept their role. Like they accept they part of society.
Chilling in the cut.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm a gay woman that they
because
don't be complaining about
this
shit. Every time some shit happen, like it's always a gay man that's crying about
Tariq Nasheed, he was even talking about that. He brought up and he exposed this. I didn't even know this. He was saying we got to be careful of racism in the LGBT community used towards black people. He brought up there's this organization, this up and coming group called the Rainbow Railroad, and how they're using the same terminology as the Underground Railroad, but it's the Rainbow Railroad.
Gosh.
And they only have like 1 or 2 people that's black in the whole organization, but it's a white ran org. And
what they trying to do?
So they're trying to, well, not trying because they are doing it. They have this organization where pretty much if somebody who is gay in like other countries, if they need somewhere to go to, they'll have like white or not white destinations, but gay safe houses for them. And he was just saying how like we got to be careful because we don't know these people and they could be snatching up kids, all that. But the fact it's called the Rainbow Railroad.
And
it's
I
like
think
things
too,
like that.
Like outside of like your sexual preference, you have to just stop caring about what people say.
Yeah.
That's, in general,
but that's why I'm saying, is it really if there's so much pride in this, let's just break it down. Let's just break it down. If there's so much pride, why are there always so many excuses being made?
Yeah,
why
like Kevin Hart, he couldn't host the Oscars because you brought up 2010 tweets. Yeah,
but if you're proud, you don't care. People make jokes and you brush them off.
Especially
even
in
Dave
comedy.
Chappelle said it. Dave Chappelle said, he was like, man, I got a fan. She's a trans woman. He's like, she follows me to every show. And I asked her,
why?
She was like, no, this shit is funny. Like,
it's hilarious.
So it's I don't know.
I mean, and that's what Dave Chappelle was saying. Like when he was making jokes about black people, when he was calling,
nobody was saying nothing.
Nobody was saying anything.
You know what, too though? I go back to the media. I think the media is pushing this. Like Lil Nas X ain't come out and say he was offended. A lot of these gay, I'm not really hearing gay people come. Like of course I see the commentary, but the people like the bigger people, I don't hear them coming out
saying Kevin Hart. That was because again, my fault. You could tell that my hand hit this big hand. I could tell that it was geared towards that because they didn't play the full episode. You just took one soundbite that was 10 seconds.
That's the media. That's
how the media that right there shows that there's some agenda behind it because it just happened.
I don't even want to talk about that anymore.
It's a
you know
short
why?
excerpt.
Because I don't care.
Yeah, I feel you.
I
feel you.
really don't care. When I see stuff like that, I just keep going because I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
Something else happened this week. LeBron, Nike named
Let's go.
a building on their work campus after LeBron James.
He's the GOAT, man.
LeBron is the GOAT, man.
It's set in stone. After
LeBron
that,
is the GOAT.
Nike building buildings after you,
And naming them after you.
and you're not even retired yet.
You're not even retired yet. But no, that's a great thing that he
That's
did.
amazing.
I'm very proud
His
of
school.
him. I think more people should follow his business model.
Yeah, his school is bumping. All of that. I love it.
There was something else in California that there was gonna be a vote on that he was advocating for.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
September 5th, LeBron James tweeted, "Everyone in California, call your politician and tell them to support SB 206. This law." What's so funny? Oh. This law is a game changer. College athletes can responsibly get paid for what they do and the billions they create. So
That's right.
if you're in California, I don't know if you've had a chance to vote yet or if it's coming up find out, because that would be great. There's also been a call, and they gave my girl Jamel Hill a hard time this week because she agreed, and she was saying that college athletes should go to HBCUs, and then
I saw that.
all the right-wing media came for her and was like, Jamel Hill calls for segregation. I'm like, what? What is it? Huh?
And Kim, people from the right wing, what they gotta understand. Right wing, left wing, I don't care.
I mean, it's sport.
But
it's a fucking game.
not just that, is that if you think about it.
You want to go to an HBCU because you're black and you have a great talent that you want to use for your people? What's wrong with that?
That's not segregation. That's actually the antithesis of segregation, because what people don't talk about, when we watch Alabama play, right? It's an all-black team. Do we see a black head coach? No. We see a white coaching staff. We see a white athletic director. When we watch UGA play, Ohio State, you see white head coaches, white assistant coaches, white ADs. So why not go to a space where you can flourish? And two, if these kids were not playing football, they would not be at Ohio State. If you were not playing football, you would not get into Alabama, all these other schools.
So what happens? So do the black athletes that retire or get hurt and they leave the NFL, do they go back and coach at HBCUs?
Some do.
Okay, that's
Some
great.
do. But I think where the true problem lies is in alumni. HBCUs need more participation when it comes to alumni. Not just that, to people, the Oprah Winfreys. I challenge y'all, all the black billionaires, Tyler Perry. I don't care how much.
Well, Tom Joyner, he kept a lot of HBCUs
No, I mean, Tom Joyner did, but he's just one.
He's just one.
So, like, the same Oprah that's building schools in Africa, you need to allocate that same money towards HBCUs. And even if you have, do more. And I know people are afraid to challenge people like that, but we need to hold everybody, accountable. Because I don't like how just because somebody makes X amount of money or somebody's accomplished all these things that they can't be critiqued anymore.
I feel that.
Yeah.
But
I don't like that either.
I don't I don't like telling people what to do with their money.
Facts.
You feel me? Just because they got it don't mean that they have to. Like, what part? Like, at first, before you could tell somebody what they doing with their money, like, what are you doing with your money? Are you putting any money into the HBCU? That's the thing. Like, you can't just tell. Like, I was going back and forth with somebody. Oh, Jay-Z don't. It was a guy. It was a couple years ago, and he was talking about. We were talking about Jay-Z had a scholarship foundation, and I think they was only giving them like.
Yeah, we talked about that before on this show.
This was a whole conversation with somebody else. He was like, he was giving them a couple $100,000. He was like, "Oh, Jay-Z's worth it. He need to be giving them more." I'm like, first off, how you gonna tell somebody how much
the
to
percentage
give? And he giving more than what you gonna be able to give anyway. You feel
I feel
me?
it. Yeah.
I think it was a situation with the Migos. Like, I think.
It was like 4,000 or something like that.
Yeah, but it's like
dropping 100 in the strip club.
It's like, how you gonna tell somebody what to do with their money? Like,
I feel you.
Yeah.
I think too, though, that people get frustrated, and to that same thing is that people have to take a step back and realize, of course, we don't have billions of dollars, but I think when people see holes like within our community and stuff, if we really thought about this, Boyce Watkins, he said this plenty of times, Dr. Claude Anderson as well, is that literally with just our black billionaires and millionaires that we could change the whole black community overnight. And I know that we can't tell people what to do with their money, X, Y, and Z, but I think that we should still hold people accountable.
Just give people ideas, hold them accountable. Absolutely.
We still need that, because I just don't like how, and I know not every community is perfect, but when we see other communities, everybody flourishes. And I'm just saying, if you are on top, especially with somebody like Oprah, Tyler Perry, whoever, you're flourishing because of your black audience. And I think if you're able to at least just give back a small portion.
But that's what everybody's saying.
But at the same time, like, we find a way to critique. Like, we find some shit critique the people about. Like, they might donate some money, and then shit, they might not even know that this situation is, or this organization is a bad organization, and now the people. I mean, I feel you.
You know where that's coming from.
Oh yeah, Jay-Z.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I feel you. But at the same time, it's like, let's think about Robert Smith, what he did for Morehouse. He was praised for that, and that was just something simple for him.
He don't get enough praise for
right.
that.
And
Ice Cube don't get enough praise for
what he does with his Big Three lead. So
he doesn't get
I'm
enough
just
praise.
saying that just because
don't Ice Cube get support?
Not as much as I think he should.
He has a deal with CBS.
He does.
LeBron, he was at his game.
LeBron was.
He was at the championship game.
You got those players going to play in that league.
It was
right,
so
and you got the NBA looking at players from his league.
We don't talk about. We don't give enough support.
Yeah,
we might say it once, but the negative shit, we gonna drag that on for months.
And
we gonna continue to drag that on. You feel me?
Right. And two, here's the thing as well. Just because we're critiquing, it doesn't mean that we're bashing. And I think that that's what people have to understand.
Yeah, people have a hard time with
because look, think about it.
All critique is not bad, but we're dragging. When you continue to focus on the negative shit, that's
I'm
bad.
not though.
Like,
yeah.
That's
but I think though that it's still healthy for us to at least take a step back and say, hey, from our black billionaires, we see that our HBCUs are struggling. What can we do? Because y'all have the resources. What could y'all do to actually help this? I think that someone saying that is something that's healthy, because if you donate this, then I can do this, or you can create this. So I think everybody can help everybody.
So we talked about this was a point that was made on the show last week with the homeless situation.
Yeah. When you said homelessness is a choice.
No. If you give a homeless people all this money, they're gonna go get drugs with it. So if I get his HBCU this money, and they're not doing the right thing with it, like, then what?
No, and I mean, and like, I feel that. And of course, when we're talking about money and things like that, that's where it comes in, where
accountability.
Again, more than just one person. If this person has resources, then we have to find somebody who's good, like a Dr. Boyce Watkins, Claude Anderson, somebody who's very good when it comes to economics. And that person, they can have a program of, hey, HBCU Morehouse, you need to do X, Y, and Z with this. So we'll have somebody. So now we're asking
them not only to donate, but we're asking them to put a plan in place.
No. I'm saying no. They can provide resources, but then you can have other people who come in who tells them how to allocate.
Whose job is that to bring those other people in?
Not the person who's on top.
I'm saying
because it's your money. Don't you want to make sure it's going down the right?
That's not my skill. Let's take Jay-Z for example. Jay-Z's a rapper.
Okay, can we take a deep breath before you?
Okay, well let's take.
Hey, you could just say Oprah, Tyler Perry.
You can use Jay-Z for an example, but I'm just saying.
I'm just saying a person that's not in education. Let's take myself. Say if I was a billionaire, I'm not a teacher. I'm not in education. I don't start schools. None of that. Just because I got money, I see that you may need some help. I give you some money. I'm not the person to implement what you're supposed to do.
And look, you don't have to
take this money. You're the expert. I'm giving you the money because you're the expert.
No. You're not just a person. You are a brand. You are a company. You are a corporation. You represent what you represent from what you do.
If my corporation is in entertainment,
when you tie your name to anything, you need to do your checks and balances to make sure that what your name is next to represents what your values and what your reputation and what your company is. I don't think that you should make reckless decisions and just
I'm not saying
whatever.
A reckless decision. Me as a black person, I do see that HBCUs are struggling. I might not know the answer of the direct, like, all I know, my answer may just be able to give you some money to help you get to the resource.
But let me tell you what
it is.
is.
I give you the money,
and that's
the expert is supposed to figure out what that resource is, not me.
Let me tell you what the problem is, or what maybe not the problem is, but what the issue is that we need to work out as black people. I don't think a lot of wealthy black people see the
responsibility.
Not really only that, but I don't think they see the value in HBCUs because a lot of them didn't go to one, or a lot of them
didn't even go to college.
A lot of them think that going to college, right? A lot of them didn't go to college. That's another point. But a lot of them may have gone to, or want, or think that going to a college, because going to a white college is better. Honestly, like deep down inside, they don't even see the value of HBCUs. They don't see the value of having them. Like they just think that they're just rinky-dink schools that you go
you know
to
what?
when you don't get accepted into the bigger schools.
I think it's more of.
Some
I think
do
it's more of
probably.
like.
I feel you on that.
I think
Some
it's more of people not
we're
wanting to
trying
be
to
at the
come
bottom. You feel me? Not the bottom, but like these white colleges per se, they already kind of established. It's like basically taking a shortcut. Going through a white college is like a shortcut. It's like
looks good on your resume when you make it up.
That too, but like building these HBCUs is going to be a process, and people already feel like we're behind. So it's just like, damn, we got to. I don't know. I think the white schools are a shortcut.
No, most definitely.
Or these established schools are a shortcut.
Yeah, but all right. So look, think about this. LeBron, when he created his school, LeBron doesn't know how to run a school. LeBron, he doesn't know.
Right.
Just put the money into it.
But no, he did just
He
put the
got
money
the
into
team
it. He had a
together
team
first. He
around
had
it,
to
and
vet
he
his
even
people.
said that. He even said that on CNN. He had to make sure that he had a team who knew. Think about it, Brian. He's not at the school right now. He's in LA, but it's a
The
white
school's
woman.
still
I forgot
functioning.
her name, but she's the one who's technically over the whole entire thing. And then she has this person who does that. That person does this. This person does
But
that.
Caleb,
Let me ask you
know
this.
why that happens?
Why's that?
Because it's coming from a place of
exactly
why he's doing it.
It's important to him.
If
It's not
if a
because
person
he's
is
trying
not
to make
passionate
money.
about just because I'm a billionaire don't mean
Right.
that I'm passionate about building the HBCU.
But Kim's point, like what you said, that's our problem. Our black billionaires sometimes, and this has always been a problem in the black community since day one in America. The people who even were inside the house or the preachers, the people who got enough were good and they weren't worried about nobody else.
That's why I said what we were talking about earlier, and I'm sure we'll get into in a minute. That's why I said, now I see
Segue
why.
into it, Kim, because we already there. We already there. Segue into it.
Now I see why we're still in the same position, which we're way ahead.
Yep.
But now
Yep.
I see why we still have some of the same issues that my parents and their parents and their parents have had.
Right.
With getting together
Community.
and moving up, because we get to this certain point, like
I
what
got
you were
enough.
saying.
Yep.
And then we're just like, good. Okay.
I got
and
mines.
then let's just move on. And
Yeah.
let's not fight this fight
Yep.
anymore because we're good.
Tariq Nasheed, and he said it best, Kim. I got to send you the clip. And now that you said that, it clicked for me. He was saying how our elite go inside of the meeting when they get a seat at the table. And before they go inside the meeting, they're outside talking to us, getting everybody pumped up.
Yeah, wait till I get in there.
Right, I'm going to tear them
let
up, yada,
them
yada.
know. Represent
And then,
for the people.
there you go, Kim. And then
you
when they
get
cut
in
them
there,
a piece,
just like,
and they come out like, hey, everybody chill.
I'm good.
We good. Everybody go back home.
That's not
Right.
just black people. Though.
No,
That's
of course not.
politicians
we
do
don't
the
care
same
about
thing.
that.
No,
We're
but
talking
Politicians
about
do the same thing. Is what I'm saying. Like we
And I'm
we
glad
slow,
you said
we so
that.
hard on our people. Like we critiquing our.
And I'm glad
and
you
that's the
said
problem.
that.
Like for real, it's to the point like. It's discouraging to try to help the community
Because you
it's
feel like you'll always be talked
like,
about?
You getting critiqued by your own people. Like
That's a fact.
We kill our own people. One mistake, we
It's
killing
over.
We writing our people off.
That's fair.
We're
Or
not
somebody-
Who the fuck want to help somebody that's not grateful? Like
That's true. But I think though at the end of the day that there's still people like me, you, Kim, like we're still here, and I think that the good black people outweigh the bad any and every
But
day.
still, it's
But-
people out there that feel we're not doing enough.
Facts.
And you feel me?
But-
So it's like
No,
at the
they
end-
don't. They
Yes,
think
it
we're
is.
great.
It's
Still
people
say we
that's
ain't got nobody.
That feel like
But-
we're not doing enough.
we don't have no
But-
haters at all.
that doesn't excuse us not being able, and I'm saying not bashing, because I'm not with the bashing stuff.
No,
I'm talking
there's
about
no need
critiquing
to bash.
us. And look,
There's
and-
no need to bash.
Right, but when I say critique, you can do that behind closed.
Yes.
Not bashing and saying you're not doing X, Y, and Z, but that's okay for somebody to say, hey, she's a billionaire, you're a billionaire. We have all these black millionaires, even in Atlanta. Why not y'all just pitch just a little piece towards a local black school? Because I'll tell you why. It's easier for a kid coming out of high school to get into Clark or to get, not of course, into Morehouse, but to get into a small HBCU than it is for those kids to get inside of a big white institution. So I think that for us, it truly only makes sense for us to build up these schools, these institutions, so they'll have somewhere where they can learn self-pride. They can get a great education.
People say that
it
all
starts
the time.
at home.
It starts at home, and the why and the reason why LeBron seems to be his decisions that seem to be so seamless is because they're made from a place of
A genuine place. Right.
The reason why this situation that we were coming up with, that we were going to talk about. So what happened was everyone knows that there was an agreement for Justice Coalition. What's the name of it? Right, something.
Yeah. Freedom Justice
Freedom
Coalition,
Justice something, and So the group, they had their first public outing. I don't know what you call it. They had their first.
Well, the first performance, it was on Thursday Night
Okay,
Football.
well,
Meek
just the
Mill.
fact that there are going to be performances, because as we
Yeah.
already know, the details of what the agreement was were kind of shady, right? So then we found out that there's going to be a Rock Nation, which I told y'all before, Rock Nation deal with the NFL, and
Right.
they're going to do clothes, like I said before. And so the first game that they had this week was in Chicago. So the Chicago Bears were there, and guess what happened? Meek Mill was there,
Yep.
and all the Rock Nation artists. Did they perform? They performed.
Yep. Meek Mill, he performed. I only saw Megan Trainor, she performed. Those were the only two performances that they showed. It was on NFL Network, I saw it.
Okay,
For
and
the
then
pregame.
so what happened is they donated $400,000 to two organizations in Chicago, and the organization that they one of the organizations that they contributed to was, what was the name of it? Crush Foundation.
Yeah. And this is
Was
a true
it
story.
really?
People can actually look this up. Yeah.
No, that wasn't it. Was it?
Crusher, I think it was called
Crusher.
Crusher.
I knew it was Crush something.
Okay, let me look it up.
Just put Crusher Foundation NFL. It'll probably pop up. Yep.
Okay, so the Crusher Foundation, and the Crusher Foundation has been the leader of the Crusher Foundation. She believes
She even looks creepy.
she looks crazy as hell. What is her name? Okay, so here, this is from blockclubchicago.org. Okay, the Crusher Club and Inglewood nonprofit awarded $200,000, so they gave half to this one, half to the other one for Rock Nation and NFL.
What was the other one though? And that's another thing too. Like, we're not even acknowledging the other one at all. The one that's actually doing so-called positive shit.
The organization
true.
teaches kids discipline and respect through boxing. Was one of the two local groups. Lawndale-based Better Boys Foundation was the other one.
What was it called?
Better Boys Foundation.
Okay.
They got another $200,000. After the grants were announced, old social media posts showing Crusher Club's founder, Sally Hazelgrove, cutting off a young man's dreadlocks were highlighted by an anonymous Twitter account called Resist Programming. The account went on to highlight other troubling tweets from the group's founder, and one of the tweets is a picture of her cutting off the dude's dreads, and she said
He's
that
gonna get a better life.
he will have a better life. Excited to see the work you are doing. Finding you today reminded me that they're teaching girls to defend themselves with boxing. May your community program change. So anyway, the chick is a little
Oh, did you saw
Trump
the
supporting.
All Lives Matter
Yeah,
tweet as well?
she had some tweet about All Lives Matter, and then when Trump got elected, she tweeted like, "Oh, I'm so glad.
For real?
Maybe you could save Chicago." Yeah.
Oh, sheesh.
What was the exact tweet
Let me find it.
about the? And let me ask y'all this: like, did y'all really do the research on the whole? Like,
I have all the tweets.
I'm just saying, did you do the research on that organization at all?
When I just heard about it,
Yeah.
I just played the interviews when people spoke on it. I mean, I didn't, like, I'm gonna be real, like, I didn't look up, what the
Because
org
I
was or any of
definitely
that.
did my research on the actual group, because I want, of course, like I
Find
said,
out
I'm
what
not
was going
taking
on.
these headlines and
Yeah,
running with
and
them.
running
Like,
with it. That's
We
facts.
basically getting mad at we getting mad at this lady off 3 tweets. If you really think about it, like, we getting mad off 3 tweets.
Yeah, there was a lot
First
more
off,
than 3 tweets
with
though.
even with the haircut, and the person that was in that getting his hair cut, he came out and made a video about that.
Yeah,
It
so
could've
did
been-
the
it could've
boy
been something
in
they
New
paid
Jersey
him,
that
you
got
feel me?
his dreads cut off. He said the same thing. Just
But he
because
was
you
like-
have
he
dreads
was
doesn't
unwilling
mean
to-
that you understand what they represent or what they represent to other people. And he's a young kid.
No, I'm talking about the whole cut. Like, he willingly wanted to get his hair cut from the video that he made. But anyway, back to not saying that none of this shit is right, but the whole story behind it, like, this lady's been doing good things for the community. She's been helping these kids. I think it was like, basically the program was to help troubled youth in Chicago, kids that was in gangs. The people that joined her thing, like, I think she started it. I think she started in 2013, but she moved her family into the hood basically just to get that experience. And she talked to the kids about, like, what would help them, or what was something that they're interested in, to help them keep them out the streets. And boxing was the thing. So she started a boxing league and basically, or a boxing training camp or whatever. And basically, it's like a 90% rate of keeping kids, like kids that come in there, they're not going back to the streets.
Yeah.
You know, they're changing their lives. Like, you feel me? So it's just like, man, are we just gonna take these few incidents and overlook the benefits or the things that are really helping the community, or are we just gonna run with this narrative, be emotional about it, and be mad that, you feel me, something that's actually helping the community, they made a mistake. Yeah. And that's on some devil's advocate. Not saying that what she did was right.
Right, but you're just trying to show both sides of the spectrum.
But let's look at the whole situation. Like, she been helping these black kids for what, 7+ years now. Yeah. And now we want to kill her. Yeah. Like, why didn't we kill her when the shit initially happened?
Right. Because we didn't get swindled into thinking the group that we were supposed to have represent is going to give them $200,000. We didn't care.
I'm saying even the people in Chicago, like, why wasn't it a problem to them before this happened?
We don't care. There's 100 groups, nonprofit organizations, and people out there that are supposed to be helping the youth. That's great. We didn't get dragged into this until the person that we got sold into thinking was doing something great for everyone put his money in the organization that we're supposed to support behind them. So we're like, oh, wow, who's that? Because we are trying to keep up with what's going on.
Vetting process. I think people, they're just trying to find out if everything's legit.
Obviously, this program was supporting it was helping our community. And that was the whole reason. Like, you think they found this program and like, oh, she's against black people, let's put some money into this. No, I don't think that. I don't think they just put some money into it just because and they knew that she was on some racist shit.
We don't know why they chose, because when the guy, one of the guys asked Jay-Z, that was one of the questions in that interview. One of the journalists asked Jay-Z, how are you going to pick these organizations that you're going to give money to? And his answer to that question was, well, we're probably going to ask some of the play. It's such a finesse. This whole thing is such a finesse. He was just like, oh, we're going to get the players involved. We're going to ask this person. We're going to ask that person. We don't even know if his part of the partnership is the ones that pick it. It could have been somebody at the NFL office that Googled Chicago organizations. And it's because you're just plugging this man's name and the black collective into this partnership with the NFL so that they can make everybody feel more comfortable being involved with watching the NFL season this year. That's all that it is.
That's a great point you made.
In exchange for that,
why we killing Jay-Z?
Because in exchange,
but
you know why?
They are using his name as bait. But like you say, Jay-Z probably didn't had nothing to do with picking that group.
Why did Jay-Z
our people are running with it and saying Jay-Z picked this group? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, let's look at the whole scope. Let's take the emotion out of this shit. One thing I learned is when it comes to shit like this, you have to separate the people from the problem.
Yeah, you gotta think logically.
We keeping the people, like, what's the problem? Like, what is our overall goal? Like,
our problem is that we are easily influenced. Our other problem is that...
Is this program helping black kids at all? Is it helping black kids at all?
It is.
It's helping and it's hurting.
Because...
How is it hurting?
Because you just sat there on social media and said, I'm going to read you some of her tweets. And the image of her cutting that dude's dreads off is not a good look. And that's why it started the whole My Locks movement. And Ava DuVernay.
That's emotion, bro. We so damn emotional. Like, we so emotional. Like.
No, hey, Jay Black, to your point, nothing but facts. But I think as well, people are being careful too. Because we've been got so many times. So when we see this, we're just trying to make sure that everything is right. And two, again, back to that same point. Just because you're critiquing somebody doesn't mean that you're bashing somebody. Like Kim right now, she ain't posting on social media, F Jay-Z, F that. She's handling it the right way. She's reading articles, all that stuff. Now, Jay Black, to those people that's posting stuff like Jay-Z, he's a coon, that's different. That's not cool. But I'm saying with this, that's perfectly fine. Just to say, hey, something doesn't feel right. We're looking at this woman's tweets. We're looking at what she's done, and it's not adding up.
So praying for the police victims in Dallas. Let us come together and not be divided. All lives matter. United we stand.
So the only problem in that whole tweet is the one hashtag all lives matter.
Oh, there's more.
No, I'm asking. In that one tweet, let's just analyze this one tweet.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that coming from?
Yeah, but
no, we're
all lives matter means something.
No,
though.
We understand that.
Yeah.
But we're emotional over that one hashtag.
Some people are emotional. I wouldn't say like us being right now is us taking it too far. It's just people trying to analyze what's going on. Because here's why. just because we have somebody doing something good for black people doesn't mean that it can always be genuine. Just like what we were going back to when we were talking about the donors, sponsorships, things like that. Because we had white people that were liberals, abolitionists, who were all about black people being free. But once black people became free, they weren't about black people being on the same equal level as them. So just because somebody's looking out for us doesn't mean that they're really for us at the same time. My only thing is if it came for this.
And then she talks shit about, I mean, her whole attitude, these tweets, like somebody tweeted about something that was going on in Chicago about community programs and change, and thank you for doing what you're doing. And she's like, thank you. I love God, my family, and my country, and I love our law enforcement. I'm an anomaly in Chicago. Like, don't forget, like
that's not cool. You can't say stuff like that. You feel me? Because I mean, Kim, think about this.
There's a whole bunch. There's like a whole bunch of tweets. Like,
yeah, it's just not right.
It's not like, oh yeah, she said this one thing, like the thing with Kevin Hart.
That's just like arguing through a text message.
Okay, then
Jay-Z, like you basically trying to put you, but I understand that, but
because you're only getting one side of it.
Not even that, like.
But you
can't. I might text you something and you might take it the wrong way. From me saying
out of context. You can argue all lives matter though. Like we can't take that out of context.
You can argue that point with one or two tweets or texts. You can't argue that point. Like every time you say something, you coming at me from a standpoint of like you're doing me a favor because you're white.
What's the difference between? Not saying that these situations are the same.
It's like a white.
But the difference between the situation, even with Kevin Hart, when he was talking about the gay people, those tweets.
Mm-hmm. I'll probably say with Kev though.
That was his personal opinion about his own family. I don't even know why that came out.
But with Kev, we saw the full interview though. Kev wasn't just ending on that point. Kev was telling him, "Well, you got to realize and focus on what's next."
I'm talking about
Kev's old tweets
when they brought that up.
Yeah, but here's the thing: does Kev have a foundation for gay people?
That's why I say it's not about like
it's not in the same context.
Not the problem, but I'm just saying we take these tweets and we're running with tweets.
Well,
you feel me?
Yeah,
because they're coming from a place.
Yeah,
but they're tweets.
But Trump, he tweets, and it's just like, but what you say has power in it. And it's like when you say things like all lives matter, or when you say, or you have a picture of you cutting off people's dreads, you're not culturally sensitive. And two, I can say just because we have white people in Africa doing missionary trips, it doesn't mean that y'all really F with black people. It's just you're doing something for PR.
So you could look like the savior. The savior complex.
White savior complex.
Yes.
Think about this when we had people like Carnegie, who was billionaires even back then.
But he doesn't care. Like, did you see the interview that Jay-Z and Van Jones were there, and he was saying like how
we didn't have training at home and things like that.
Remember when we were talking about that, and you were like,
respect for authority.
Yeah, you think that.
Yeah, and Kim, and to that point as well, we got to think on a very chest level. And I think sometimes we think on checkers when it comes to emotion, when it comes to not analyzing things properly. We got to understand that the rich and powerful always give back. And they do that to save face. So if we ever try to critique them, they can say, well, I did X, Y, and Z. But your intentions weren't pure. You just did that, to save face. And I think that for her, this is probably something for her to probably feel good. Or we don't know her intentions.
But going back to him, because that's the whole point the whole reason why we're involved in the first place as a community, as a hip-hop community, as a hip-hop generation.
Yeah.
Going back to that, like, that's just showing a different, to me, it's showing a different generation, a different group of people, his why, or why he's doing stuff. It's like, it's not driven, I don't know.
Hey, somebody said this, Kim, and I feel it right now. Activism is the new hustle. People are getting in on activism because it pays. And
really?
With Jay, again, of course, only time could tell. But we can just segue into this right now, Kim. How do you feel about the whole situation? Jay Black's viewpoint is perfect as well, because I think that he shows where he's coming from too. So how do you feel about it? And I already know Jay Black, he's going to be ready for you too. So how do you feel about everything that's going on right now, Kim?
With what?
With Jay, like, do you feel, well, I already know how you feel, but after learning more about this, after seeing more about the program and learning all the details, specifics about exactly what this program is.
I always knew what it was.
But now that we 110%
it's
know.
Nothing that I could feel that's different. I felt the same way ever since the beginning. I knew that this was what it was going to be. I knew that it was going to be, him telling people not to do it for free. It's just turned around now that he's gonna get paid. They're gonna get paid for it.
Activism is a hustle.
I mean, for Tidal, it's a great thing for him. It's a great thing for Tidal. It's a great thing for the Tidal artists. It's a great thing for Rock Nation. It's a great thing for them. What does it say for us as a community? Because I mean, nothing. I mean, it just says that we can be bought. That's the message that it's sending.
And then I'm conflicted because me, Jay Black, and Mecca, when we were talking earlier before the show, it's just like, it's so confusing because I feel you on that with Jay. But then when we see somebody of Cap stature, and Cap wants to play in the NFL.
Why is he? I don't get that.
So,
but that's like,
it's just of what are we supposed to do is my question. What are we supposed to do? Because even the man who was protesting wants to play in the NFL. Even after winning his grievance, all that, he wants to play in the NFL.
There's no way that you can compare this situation to anything else because
it's so confusing.
Is there any other situation where there's only one? Like yeah. I'm work for a phone company and everybody's like, would you leave your job for? I'm like, I mean, me, yeah, because I gotta go get another job. You know what I mean? But there's only one NFL. So I mean, you gotta just change the NFL, and that's what Cap is trying to do. Like, yeah, I want to work for the NFL. I want to work for a different NFL. I want y'all to change the inner workings of the NFL. I want y'all to change the mentality that goes behind the hirings and the firings and the dealings of the NFL. That's what we want to change. We don't want to give up until they change. We still talking about
institutional change.
We still still talking about this. We're gonna stand here until y'all change the inner workings of the NFL.
Right.
No, we're not gonna do. No influential black person is gonna do business with y'all until you change the inner workings of it. Until you get some. He shouldn't have taken less than ownership.
Who, Cap?
Jay-Z.
Oh, Jay, yeah.
There should have been nothing less than partial ownership on the table for any negotiation, period.
And that's where it comes from, and the common word that was being thrown out, pride. That's where it comes from. We have to understand that y'all need us.
And that's why a lot of the artists are like, you mean to tell me you and Meek Mill spent all them months and weeks last year telling all these people don't do it just so that you can turn around and do it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where, to me, ego and pride comes in, just like, as, you know, on some shit like, oh yeah, I turned it down because, of course, I'm not performing for free, which I heard the artists perform for free because they do it for publicity. He doesn't need publicity. So of course you turned it down. That was smart. You should not do anything for free. And you don't need publicity. So you turning that down was not some, I turned down the NFL. Of course you fucking did. Yeah. Because the only thing they were offering you is something you never needed.
Promo.
So that wasn't.
Be like, my wife's Beyonce, bro. I'm good.
Right. Like, you didn't need to do that. Yeah. You don't need to do shit as far as publicity goes. So you really didn't do anything so prolific by turning that down.
Yeah.
But what you did do is you made it so that now you're going to get paid, which is great, and your people are probably going to get paid. And, and your streaming service, this is all a great business deal for you and your people.
Yeah.
And on that, you get a great applaud. But for people out here that really want to see this shit change, because your son and your husband and your brothers and everybody is watching this every week, I want
probably play football too.
I want you to look and see some black owners, some black
head coaches. Look, you feel what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, like, I want y'all to see black men
everywhere. Yeah.
Because I want you to be that.
In leadership positions.
I want you to see that. I want you to want nothing less than that. As a black woman, I want you as a black man to support stuff that supports you. That's it. That's one of
the biggest things that we don't talk about as well is people talk about black ownership. And another thing that we got to focus on, not even black head coaches yet, I think black general managers. People don't talk about that.
I don't know the whole.
They're the ones who hire everybody. You see what I'm saying?
Are there no black GMs?
Probably one. Nah, the Texans, they used to have one. I don't even know if there's any black GMs at all. Yeah.
Speaking, okay, let's change the subject. Last week, something else happened. Another mass shooting. Did we talk about that mass shooting in Texas?
We didn't have a chance to talk about it.
There's been another one since then. So did you hear about the 14-year-old boy that shot his whole family?
Okay. I didn't hear about that.
But anyway, I don't know if we talked about Odessa. Did we talk about the Odessa?
No, we didn't talk about Odessa.
Okay, so since we've been gone, Odessa mass shooting happened. And what does Texas do? And they are the ones with the most mass shootings. I don't mean from the history of this country. I mean like this year or within the last 2 years, there's been 4 mass shootings in Texas. Wow. And so September 1st, Texas does what? They loosen up their gun restrictions. So now you cannot, your apartment complex can't tell you can't what to do with your guns. Like, there's a whole bunch of things that are loosening it, which make absolutely no sense to me. So because the government isn't doing anything about these gun laws, the stores started doing things about these gun laws. So now you can't open carry in CVS, Walgreens. There's another store that Wegmans, I think. The stores are
Kroger's is it?
Oh yeah, Kroger.
You walking with a gun inside of a grocery store.
Yeah, Kroger also announced that they will not let you open carry in their stores anymore, which is great because they're not gonna let you open carry. The government's not doing nothing about it, so the stores had to step up and do stuff about it. So I applaud them for that. All those stores, Kroger, Walgreens, CVS, and whoever else joins that movement, I'm 100% behind that. Because the government is in the pocket of the NRA. So Greg Abbott issued 8 executive orders Thursday to aim to stop potential mass shooters, which I don't really think that this guy really cares about mass shooters.
Yeah.
He's been fending off calls for gun control by the Democrats in the Texas House in the wake of the shootings on Wednesday, which was the week before that. That was in Odessa. 63 of the 66 Texas House Democrats signed a letter calling for special legislative session because they don't meet until like 2021.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
that's some time.
Right.
It's 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, they don't meet until 2021. So the laws that took effect, they'll allow licensed handgun owners to carry weapons in places of worship. Ban landlords and homeowners from prohibiting tenants to own, carry, and transport guns on their property. Prevent school districts from prohibiting licensed gun owners, including school employees, from storing guns and ammunition in school parking lots. Allow foster homes to store firearms. Like, how is this helping? Texas, y'all on your own, because clearly your governor don't give a damn about y'all. I can't see how in this day and age you could allow foster homes to carry firearms.
Telling you, Texas.
Allow disaster shelters to take in evacuees who have guns. Allow schools to have more armed marshals on campus. Defend licensed gun owners from unknowingly entering designated gun-free zones as long as they leave after being told. So you can walk up, like you see how all these stores are saying, we don't want guns. Oh, Texas is like,
they don't care.
We don't care what the stores say. If you walk in,
ask you a question,
yeah.
And this is kind of like a devil's advocate question. Could it be considered discrimination that I have the right to carry a gun, but you're not allowing me to carry my gun into your place of establishment?
No, because it's affecting the welfare and health of other people. It's not really discrimination.
It's not if it's just on your hip. If I'm not using my gun, it's not affecting anybody.
I'm not here to try to figure out whether you
but
want
I'm just saying,
to use
is that
it or
discrimination or not?
No, I'm just saying, I'm trying to go through this thought process with you, and you're saying is it discrimination? And I'm like, well, what would stop me from discriminating against someone with a gun? And I'm like, because I don't want to be worried if at some point during your frequenting of my store,
okay, that's just
so
like
to
a white
avoid
person,
that, just
it's
don't
like
bring
a white
it.
person saying, I don't want no black person because I'm worried about what they're gonna do.
You might be a bad one. I don't know.
You feel me? That's the same exact thing.
But at least with a gun though, is that
it's intimidating.
And then
a black person can be. We know black people are intimidating.
Hey, I feel that, but at least with a gun, if something
when
pops off, it's gonna pop off with a gun. Like a black person, even if that person is crazy, if they don't have a gun, there's only so much that can happen. But with a gun, you can you can cause
but to have a
serious
gun,
damage.
you have to go through a. Well, it's not a strict.
Yeah,
I know in Georgia it's not a
it's
strict
not.
process. I know in
It's
Ohio
not.
you have to actually go through a class and you have to go through a whole process. So
I like that. But what the
same
problem is, with states like Texas, Georgia, Florida, we don't have those same things. And anybody can walk around with a semi-automatic. And we saw that at Walmart, wherever. So, I mean, I don't know.
Because people were saying, like, why didn't the guy that walked in Walmart and shot all them people, like, nobody saw him with the gun? Like, yeah, they saw him. But like you said, like,
when it's too
you
late.
got a gun. Everybody's got a gun. We're in Texas. Guns
I see what you're saying. So nobody saw it as a
Nobody
threat.
saw it as a threat right away because there's no harm in having a gun. Like, but then he pulled it out and started shooting people. Like, now what they're saying is in Texas, like, you can still walk in my store with your gun, but if I feel like I want to say no, like, you look like you might be in here trying to start some trouble, then that's why you're saying it could be discrimination. Okay.
Yeah, that's discrimination.
It's, man, with the whole gun situation too, Jay Black, because I have those same concerns of, let's say that I get my own gun permit and I just want to have it on me because of all these mass shootings. How do you know if I'm a good guy and this person's a bad guy?
That's why I don't.
How do you know?
I don't like guns.
Right? How do you know?
I know guns
How
are
do you know?
necessary.
They might as well just
take them all away.
The whole thing. Like, you can't get a permit. Like,
bro,
you feel me?
Man.
And then at the same
that's
time,
like a 50-50.
At the same time, this law is really, they're just saying that you can't. What is it? What's the law?
Open carry.
You can't open carry. So I
conceal
can
carry.
I can just put my shirt over the gun and still go in there. It's the same thing. You feel me? A criminal is gonna be a criminal.
Yeah.
They're criminals.
A mass shooter gonna be a mass shooter.
They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Like,
it's tough, man, because just like with the whole Jay-Z situation as well, is that in certain situations, I just don't know what to do, what side to be on, because I don't want for everybody's guns to be taken away, but then I know with this whole gun stuff, like NRA, all that stuff is built off of white supremacy.
Well, okay, the Second Amendment was written when people had muskets.
Yeah, Minutemen militia. That's exactly what it was for.
I think if
nobody's coming to take your land. You don't need to hunt for dinner tonight.
Your jobs.
Honestly, I think if this is a big problem, I think people should follow what New York is doing.
So what
just
are they
don't
doing?
have no guns.
You feel me?
Oh, for real?
Have a gun.
I mean, you know,
we
people,
can't have
every
guns.
time you go to
you serious?
Yeah,
so that's what happened with Sebastian
That's why everybody
Telfair.
goes to
That's
jail.
why Lil Wayne
was in jail.
Sebastian Telfair got in jail.
shot himself
in a nightclub.
He shot himself. You'll go to jail for shooting
yourself. So they just need to, if it's that big of a problem. And then they said even when, was it Giuliani that put that in place, didn't he?
Giuliani put a lot in place, didn't he? Stop and frisk.
This has been going on forever. I don't even think.
I was about to say, then.
I mean, growing up.
Well, Giuliani, I think he was the mayor around the time Plaxico was playing for the Giants, so it might have been.
Yeah, he was, but I know.
I mean,
I know they said when that went in place,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the crime stopped in New York.
Oh, for real?
As far as like times. So I'm saying, like, they see that it works in New York.
Right.
Why not just make it a
global, or not global,
thing,
national?
like,
yeah, because
national
I
thing,
mean, if you think about it, Jay Black, because I mean, you speaking facts. When we think about other countries, I think America was 25 or 10 times more higher than any other country when it came to mass shootings. But we have the most guns, so I think that's probably pointed that problem as well. Then, but I just know those people who are passionate about their guns, and those people, the moment that you even mention gun laws, gun rights. They go crazy, and Kim.
Yeah, because
they have semi-automatics.
Because you got to think too.
Because what?
You got to put yourself in their shoes. But you got to put yourself. A criminal is going to have a gun. Me as a law-abiding citizen,
I'm not going to have one. So
I'm
somebody pulls up on me.
Somebody come in my house with a gun.
But how many people shot back at any of these mass shooters?
Was Bun B? Or not?
But somebody. Well, Bun B, when somebody broke in his house, he had a gun,
like,
and he was able to protect himself. That's true.
It's a benefit.
Did he have an AK-47?
Nah, he just had like a pistol. Or something.
I don't know why you need an AK-47 or.
That's
MS,
my problem. So
or,
we should probably just take out semi-automatics, because I think when you have like stuff like that, like why do you need a semi-automatic? For what?
I mean, shoot, you might feel like.
You see what I'm saying? No, paranoia.
You might not have aim with this semi-automatic shit. I just gotta spray this mug.
But that's dangerous though, bro.
He's from Ohio.
Like you gonna need.
I gotta spray this. I'm gonna just spray this mug up. Like
Jay Black playing Grand Theft Auto out here, bro.
He's from Ohio, bro.
Because bro, think about if you miss, that's like collateral damage. Somebody might die.
He's from Ohio.
Nah, I mean I feel where y'all coming from, but at the same time, like.
But a semi though, like you feel what I'm saying?
But I thought
the Second Amendment was
semi-automatics was illegal though.
The Second Amendment,
some states is
no.
not. Yeah, well, like Texas, you can have like an AK-47.
Most of these mass shooters have. That's what they have. They have AKs.
Yeah.
They have whatever the other one is, the popular one. But this is my thing. Like, why do you? When the Second Amendment was written,
AR-15, that's what it is. Yep.
When the Second Amendment was written, they weren't talking about those kind of weapons. They were talking about muskets. And they were talking about arming yourself.
That too. The Constitution is behind, like.
Yeah, so we need to update it, make amendments and things like that. That's real.
They were talking about arming yourself and forming your own militia
in
case the government tried to take over, baby. Guess what? You're not going to take over, like, another state. No, like, none of that's going on anymore. There's not like you and your friends are going to go take Alabama, like. We don't do that anymore. You don't need to hunt for food. Nobody's coming to take your property. And even if you did go to war with the government, which is not going to happen, they have way more shit than you. Your AK is not going to stop nothing when they got drones and tanks and bombs, okay? So you guys need to just relax, because the only thing that's happening is your kids are going in there, getting mad, going to the school. Your mentally ill son, your mentally ill husband is taking it to the job and shooting up Don from the 3rd floor. Like, the reason for you to have them, it's not working out, y'all. Like, when are you guys gonna say?
Because it's been
like,
too many mass shootings.
People that don't want all this to go on have been saying this. Well, when are you guys gonna open up your eyes and realize, like, okay, this isn't working out the way we thought it was? When the Second Amendment was written, they thought that, back then, there was a civil war. There was
Revolutionary War.
There was a Revolutionary War. There were wars on our soil.
And two, they didn't even take over the whole entire continent yet. So you still had Native
The
Americans
borders are
and things
drawn,
like that.
bro.
Yeah, so
the
it was
borders
way
are
different.
drawn, and even
Yeah.
if they weren't drawn, if you're not a part of the government, you're not going to change that. So relax.
NRA, and they got clout, man. They can control that. So
It's really ridiculous.
that's real.
So, I don't know. One Music Fest is this weekend, and I'm not going because I'm not supposed to be sweating. And that's it, really, that I really had.
On Music Fest. Oh, AB. How you feel about AB, Kim?
Oh, that's right. I don't
boy.
really know who that is, but everything that y'all sent me was
Shout out to Sean
hilarious.
Jackson,
The guy that he called his coach a cracker.
He said
That is so
P-word
funny. And
a
so
cracker.
then they suspended him.
So then, after that happened, he had a team meeting, and they said he was emotional in the meeting. He apologized, and then after that,
So he was back.
So then he was back.
Wait, so they suspended him.
At first, they were planning on it, but then they had a team
Is this
meeting.
before they called him a cracker? What was he suspended
So
for?
this was after. So he called Mike Mayock, that word, of course, and then after that, they were planning on suspending him. But then his agent, Drew Rosenhaus, he represented T.O. So AB, he's already used to this. So then AB, he had a meeting with the team, spoke with the team, apologized. Then after all that happened, then I thought I was crazy. Late at night, scrolling all through Instagram, and I see AB post a phone conversation with John Gruden. I'm like, bro, this a wild boy.
Who's that? I don't know who these
John
people
Gruden,
are.
he's the head coach of the Raiders.
Okay.
And he posted like a very private conversation. Because in public, John Gruden was always, supportive of AB. But in the conversation, he's like, bro, what are you doing? Like, just play football, yada, yada, yada. So then AB, he posted that whole conversation, and he made like a dramatic video of it. So then I thought, okay, he's going to play. Like on Monday Night Football, NFL ratings is about to go crazy because he's playing on Monday Night Football. So then the next morning, I think it was Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Saturday.
It was literally 12 hours.
Bro, before noon, this man's posting at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. Hey, release me right now. Let me go. And they actually gave in. They released him, and now he's on Lou's team. When Lou posted that on Instagram, that was hilarious.
Yes, sir.
He's on the Patriots, and that's crazy because they about to have an amazing team. Lou, how'd you feel about it when you saw AB was on the Pats?
I loved it. I'm glad he's done with that soap opera out there. And,
The sorry
wherever
team
they
anyways.
at, they ain't in Oakland no more. Wherever they
Well,
at.
they're supposed to be in Vegas next year.
I'm glad he gone from that soap opera or whatever.
Mediocre quarterback.
John Gruden is a
Is he a
clown.
quarterback?
No,
he's
his quarterback is like mediocre.
Oh,
or his
okay.
quarterback was, not with Brady.
He's a wide receiver, but
Yeah.
John Gruden is a superstar coach, a media popular super. He
Who
want to
really
be
hasn't
John. He
accomplished,
want to be
yeah.
John Madden. That's what he want to
Hey,
be.
that's facts. That's
he want to
true.
be John Madden or whatever. So
Yeah.
he's a prima donna too.
This means none of these names mean anything to me, but I'm sure that
It
there's
means something to
someone
us.
that does.
And the GM is
Mike Mayock.
it's
He was on NFL Network.
he's on
never
NFL
a
Network.
real GM, Kim. He was on TV.
He played football back in the day. He was
Boston
he was a
College.
decent player or whatever, but he played when it was kind of segregated. So
That's
he
why we
would have
need
never
black
got
GMs.
he would have never really got a chance or whatever if it wasn't for
Don't
like,
forget, he said he'll take Blaine Gabbert over Cam during the
yeah,
draft.
he makes bogus analysis all the time. He talks about players that don't do good at the combine when he didn't never do good at the combine. He ran like a 4.9. You know what I'm saying? But
That's why
still
we need black GMs, Kim. Like seriously.
But he critiques and grades players who's way better than him
Extremely
than he ever
hard.
was.
Yeah.
So I understand why AB was like, man, fuck that.
He don't know what he talking
because he don't
about.
know what the hell he talking about,
Yeah.
and he's sorry.
Yeah.
AB is way superior than he is.
Yeah.
So that's why
wow.
AB went off on him like,
He's
who the
established.
fuck are you talking to,
Is this
bro?
the one he
Him.
called a cracker?
Yeah.
Yeah, the GM.
Oh, okay.
See, he was an
They'll
analyst
tell
on
you the full
NFL Network.
Yeah, they'll tell you the
and
full
then
story.
and John Gruden was too for years or
He was
whatever.
on Monday Night
And- and-
Football.
and
Was
the
he
Raiders-
on is the guy that he's a coach? The guy he called a cracker?
No,
No,
he's not
he's
a
the
coach.
general
He's
manager.
a
He's
general
the guy who's in
manager.
charge of
Oh, wow.
everything.
He finds the
So
talent.
that's why
He
we're
signs.
saying we need black general managers.
So no old NFL
He was
players.
he
this
was a
one
part
guy?
of signing
No, he's
AB.
on TV.
He was a part of signing AB with
Yeah.
John Gruden. They wanted to sign him. They the one who
Right.
signed him or whatever.
Right.
But when you can't come at you a white man, you can't come at no superstar player like they're a little boy and saying all this crazy stuff. And then
Oh,
you
he
wanna
called
say
him that?
No,
Or-
I'm saying
or
in the
just trying
letter
to talk
he
down.
gave him he
I'm
gave
sure
him a
that
letter
was
and
his
he put all that.
attitude
Trying
that he
to talk
came
down.
for him if he said that. He
Yeah,
had to
he's
have came.
saying
They're
all
not
this
gonna
slick
tell
shit.
you
But
that
you remember
part.
AB, he was saying that nobody knows like the full story sometimes.
Nobody knows the full story. Like Mike
Yeah.
Mayock
Right.
Mike Mayock is a real asshole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Straight
Yeah.
up. Like he's an asshole.
Yeah.
He'll say something in your face that's real disrespectful, whatever. You might punch him in the shit.
And that's what AB said.
You know
He
what I'm
said he
saying?
was going to punch him in the face.
So I agree totally.
That is
I'm on AB
hilarious.
side with all this.
I
'cause
said
we
the
don't know
same
the full
thing.
facts. and I'm happy he out. Now he's gonna get with the Patriots, and everybody gonna see
That's
him
a genius move.
destroy the league. It's royal domination right now,
Yeah, straight up.
and just look out.
Y'all's roster's better than last year's, which is wild.
Just look out. It's gonna be crazy.
Do y'all feel like
I'm
conspiracy
so
theories?
sick of you right now.
Do y'all feel like AB possibly trolled his
How
way
old is
out of
this guy?
Oakland?
He looks
Yes.
really
Okay.
old on
I think
TV.
he was-
Is he old?
Who? AB? Nah,
AB?
AB's like 31, right?
AB
Or
like
32.
30.
Oh, okay. He looks older
He in
on
his
TV.
prime.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
I don't know.
I think Drew Rosenhaus counseled him to advised him
Troll
to do
out.
that. Yeah.
I think he
didn't
did,
tell
bro.
him to do it. He should say just try to find a way to get out. And AB was like, I'm just gonna act up. You know, City Boys.
I think straight up. Hey, I think he did, bro, because in Pittsburgh, and of course, you know, I've heard reports of people saying that Mike Tomlin, he kept things in-house, which he probably did. But you could tell AB was doing this on purpose. When it came to the cryotherapy, how do you forget to put on socks in cryotherapy?
Man, I knew,
Like, how do you
I knew it was
forget?
some bullshit, and I didn't think it was this bad, but
Yeah.
this nigga was injured talking about he had frostbite on his toes.
Come on, bro. Like, you can't make this up. You can't make this up,
and
bro.
then the other problem was he didn't like the helmet.
He didn't wear that helmet for 10 years. Yeah, he said he
but
wasn't
they
going to
switched
play.
helmets. No, they switched
Oh, they
helmets.
switched his helmet,
But they
right.
told him about this 2 years ago. You feel me?
No, I got to talk about that. As an ex-football player, bro,
Yeah.
I'm stuck in my ways. I want to use Rodell. I don't want to use these new helmets that they
Zenith,
use in the
yeah,
world.
that fits different.
And then
Yeah.
I'm a superstar receiver, whatever, bro.
You gotta turn your head.
When I wear the Rodell and I wear my lumberjack, because
Yeah.
the face mask he
Yeah.
wears is a lumberjack.
Yeah.
So when you can see clearly
Yeah.
through it or whatever.
'Cause that
These
new helmet is big.
These new helmets,
Yeah, it
they
was
be
big.
feel funny. You can't really get jiggy how you usually get jiggy with it with a different helmet.
And
so I
you
feel
get
him
hit by
about that.
grown men, so you want to make sure that your helmet's straight. Yeah.
Exactly, and it matter.
Yeah.
And then as far as the frostbite thing or whatever, that was on the organization fault. They put AB in this frostbite
In France, right?
new technology machine or whatever early in the morning when you don't supposed to put nobody in that machine early in the morning. You're supposed to
cold.
wait to like in the afternoon and the day when your pores
Body
open up,
heat, yeah.
when your pores open up
Yeah.
or whatever before you
Yeah.
put somebody in a cold machine. Just do the regular
Ice bath.
the regular ice bath. Don't
Yeah.
put nobody in no cold tank
thing hurts,
and then get
the
them
ice.
frostbite
Yeah.
in their foot.
That's facts.
You know,
That's facts.
I think we ain't gonna hear no problems out of AB.
I don't think so either.
We're not, because we really, like you just said, we really didn't hear nothing with the Steelers until like
Bro,
this
you didn't hear
last
nothing
year.
until the very last- but that was until Big Ben
No,
said something.
until I really started hearing about AB was
The
I
rapist,
think it was
yeah.
a playoff game when the locker room shit, the Facebook.
Oh,
Live.
but that was just one time.
Yeah, that wasn't even really nothing crazy, like-
Yeah, it was just Facebook Live.
And then it was
he
put in
Facebook
the
Live
last
the
season.
coach's speech after the game. AB did. He put on Facebook Live. Like,
So, wait.
one.
What happened to the
Yeah.
What happened to the one guy that was playing Nas and the other in the?
Oh,
coach was
Kenny
playing
Steele.
Jay-Z?
That was messed up, man.
He got traded.
They traded that man, and I told you that was exactly what was gonna happen. They traded him, bro.
What team was he on?
Who, Kenny Steele?
yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
he's solid, bro. Yeah, he's solid.
What team was he on?
Miami Dolphins,
So now he's on.
Houston, Texas.
Miami
He actually gonna flourish more on the Texas anyway.
Which
Miami-
one do you think has more of a chance? That
Houston.
sounds like an upgrade to me.
But
That
I'm just
is.
saying. But they try to kick him out of
The
there.
Miami Dolphins is tanking.
Aren't they losing like 42-3 right now?
Yeah.
At halftime?
Yeah.
Yeah, at halftime,
Yeah.
it's 42
So look,
to 3.
God don't like ugly.
The
God
Dolphins
don't like
are
ugly.
tanking. The Dolphins are known
On purpose.
They tanking on purpose.
You
They
think
tanking.
they're trying to get to it?
No,
The Trevor Lawrence.
they're trying to get. Trevor
So they're gonna
Lawrence.
take
It's a
for 2 years?
It's a 2 year. It's a 2 year program. They're gonna get him.
That's a
next
2 year
year.
divestment. Ain't
Yeah.
no investment at all.
So they're doing that. They traded
But-
their first round pick, the offensive lineman away. They traded all their
Kenny
best players
Steele's
away.
best receiver going away.
Everybody.
Watch that black
So
head
they wanna
coach. Watch
lose?
him get fired. Brian Flores. They're gonna fire him after 2 years.
No,
Watch. They're
no,
gonna be
I
a
think
pawn.
I think he got to the third year, and then they're gonna draft Trevor Lawrence, and then it's gonna
I think that
he gonna get probably like 2
Bro, you
years.
can't tank in football. That's what people gotta
I think
realize.
that-
He gonna be there at least 4 years.
I think
We'll
y'all
see.
have wasted way too much time talking about football,
Nah, because people are involved in this. People concerned about
and you have absolutely nothing. I just want to make my weekly reminder.
I got stuff involved. I got money involved.
See?
You have
Fantasy
absolutely
football.
no
I do got money involved. in this.
See?
investment
I got money invested into the
into
Yeah.
the NFL. I just
Yep.
want y'all guys to know
do got
there
money
are
involved.
so many other things you could be doing right
We
now.
can watch football. Bruh, that's too
And
strict. We can watch football now.
You need to try to
watch
find
football?
other things. There was something that I wanted to say really
What's
quick
up?
before we go. I read this really, really, really interesting article in the New Republic about the new poor people, the new homeless people, and how Atlanta is going down the wrong road when it comes to low income housing. The Brookings Institution found that Atlanta's income equality is the most extreme in the country. Another ranked it 5th among places most intensely gentrifying. A 2019 analysis by the Federal Reserve Bank ranked Atlanta 360th out of 381 cities in terms of economic mobility. To truly grasp the severity of the crisis, it's necessary to turn to somewhat obscure study, the Worst Case Housing Needs Report to Congress, released by HUD. Last published in 2017, the report tracks the number of extreme low-income renting families who do not receive housing assistance and spend more than half of their income on rent, live in grossly inadequate conditions, or both. In Atlanta, the figure was 127,000 people, 49% of all very low-income renters, roughly the same proportion of San Francisco, 6 points higher than the national percentage. 9 out of 10 of the apartments built in 2017 were classified as luxury units. Outrageous rents would be less alarming if wages were increasing at a comparable rate, but the opposite is true. Nationwide, the hourly earnings of high-wage workers rose 41% between 1979 and 2013. Middle-wage workers grew 6%. Low-wage workers decreased by 5%. So we are going into a housing crisis in Atlanta. I want to pay attention to that. We should focus on that more. We're going to talk about that more in upcoming episodes. Yeah. But just stay woke, pay attention. The earnings, the wages, the jobs, the housing in Atlanta is not equaling up. And if we don't pay attention, we're going to have a major homeless, low-income housing crisis.
And we already had that crisis now. So I think it's only going to grow.
So pay attention to that. Other than that, that's it. I'm glad that you guys are watching. Thanks for all our support. Follow us on CTD_ATL. Yep. We have a page on Facebook. Please go like the page and comment and interact with us, because we are here for you. Yep. And we just want to keep everybody informed as well as entertained. I hope we are entertaining.
Yeah. And educating at the same time.
So on behalf of Jay Black,
make sure y'all check out our great interviews. We had Okio Black last week. We had who else?
Yanaz,
Justin Blue.
Justin Blue.
No, her name is not Yanaz.
Oh, Yanajaha.
See,
I was paying attention.
I still don't know how to say it right.
Yeah. Make sure y'all go check out our previous
check us out on YouTube.
Hey, we've been moving so fast, like I forget about that stuff. Like you just said, that's crazy.
The Reza interview was a good interview. Man. Make sure y'all go stay up to date with it.
We gotta get somebody on next week.
We should.
Yeah.
And Groovy Lou.
Oh yeah, shout out to Lou. Pat's getting the Super Bowl. I know he happy.
Hey everybody, it's One Fest weekend.
Are you going down there?
No.
Oh man, I wanted to ride scooters down there. I'm all excited to be out of the house, and nobody wants to go down there with me.
You can go outside.
Like a dog has been caged up.
Right, you ready? You ready to be a hot girl today? Ready to be a hot girl. Oh, you about to do something very controversial. We were talking about it before the show. You got to be, you said you're doing like on a calendar for the show so we can get more views and stuff. You remember you said that?
Oh yeah, Kim calendar. The swimsuit connecting the dots. The Playboy.
I simply suggested that the guys, you know what I'm saying, go out there and promote the show.
You trying to pimp us, bro?
Take their shirts off, you know what I'm saying, all up or whatever they need to do. We gonna push